Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Chahakodash. I want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. As a high spirit wind lawyer, and today I want to go into a topic entitled The Many Faces of Feminism. All right, the many faces of feminism. And I wanted to do this lesson. I wanted to sort of knock it out. All right. I know there's a lot going on within prophecy right now. All right. But this is something else in my spirit, so I want to put it on wax right now. All right. But the many faces of feminism, right? Because I come into contact with Eve. I've had dialogues with certain Eve, all right? Whether it was, women you've been in relationships with, or women that you've encountered or so-called dated for a short period of time, all right? And, when things you observe by way of social media platforms, and the conclusion that I came up to is that just all women are feminists. All women are feminists, man. All right? It's like someone, there was a hip-hop critic, right? And he was breaking down like the new style of hip-hop, the thing that's wrong with hip-hop, right? And he was basically saying that basically the problem with rap is that you don't really have different archetypes of rap anymore. Roughly paraphrasing, he was basically saying like every image is basically the same. Like, for example, he was naming Drake. He was like, there's different Drakes, present in different types of rap. It's just another type of Drake, Same thing with one would say about just rap in general, like Young Thugs, right? But Young Thug is like another Ghana, like Ghana, Young Thug, or you see them, like they're all similar. All right, they might be different people, but really they have the same underlying curriculum, the same underlying narrative. Same thing with feminism. Eve ain't nothing but a feminist, man. All right, and most Eve doesn't base their actions off a particular doctrine. Really, it's just feminism, and ultimately it's Satanism. Do as thou wilt. All right. So even when Eve says she believes in so-called God and Jeepers, right? It's hardly ever an action or behavior that's based on the doctrine in the New Testament. How a woman should be, the scriptures, a keeper of the house, obedient to her husband, all these different things. She's most likely single, all right? But her relationship with so-called God is on a personal basis, not on a sense, not in the sense of doctrine. So it's always a situation where God is talking to her on a personal level. So even the ones that claim to be Christian, most of them are not even Christian. Really, it's just another face of feminism. I'm gonna make an effort to title this one when I make it to work. But this Eve has many faces of feminism. It's a different face with the same underlying belief that I'm gonna do what I want to do. So basically, the danger in a woman that says that God had to tell her this and God had to tell her that is dangerous, because that means she's not gonna listen to you or the Bible. God has to tell her, he has to reveal it to her on a personal basis, and a lot of women are like that. The ones that so-called believe in God and JC, they really don't even believe in that, because the role of a woman that you read in the scriptures that was written by the apostles, all right, she doesn't subscribe to that, does she? All right, so really she just an individualist, all right, because the byproduct of westernization is individualism as opposed to collectivism, all right, in the Eastern world. But even with our brother the Northern Kingdom, they practice something more on the lines of collectivism, where they know how to work collectively in a group. right, but Eve, it practices hyper individualism, man. All right, so you got the Christian aspect, which is not even really Christian, man, because she's not even basing her behavior based off of doctrine, man. All right, then what do you have? You have college. All right, that's not really a religion per se, but it's definitely a result of feminism, man. Where in her fertile age, in a modern world, to get married, she's putting her life force into this school system and in the lifestyle that comes with college, which ultimately is in a lot of cases is just it's debauchery, and it's a form of do as thou willism, man. All right. To obtain a degree, to basically live a life of being a really an individual, man. Okay? Now, sister, with the college, you just, you did what you had to do. But the point is the lifestyle, the mindset that comes with it. It's the same thing as feminism, man. And thirdly, you have the Kemet era, all right? The woke era, you know, there were people that I actually knew growing up. Their family was, I would say, Afrocentric, but it was a father for every friend I knew. That was like that. For the two friends I knew that were like that, they both had a father and mother present in their life, and they had, you know, a lot of siblings, but they were all uniform in their belief and their behavior, man. They all had those Egyptian names. They all had dreadlocks. They were all vegetarian. You see? But now Eve, that claims to be Afrocentric or whatever, it's just her individual ideologies, man. You know, in most cases, man. And another thing I noticed too, Eve is what they would call polyamorous. All right? She wants multiple partners, all right? Whether it's multiple dudes she converse with or have sex with, man. It's all the same thing, man. She has that poly nature, really whorish nature, okay? But all three things I just named, whether it's the college world, the Christian world, or that Afrocentric woke world, or divine feminine, and all that other garbage, is really rooted in one thing: feminism, man. And in a belief to do as thou wilt. Because rarely do you see Eve a part of a structure in which her behavior is based off a particular doctrine that she believes in. No, her doctrine is her. All right? And they all have this belief that being under a black man is toxic, man. You know? I had one woman actually ask me, she was like, are you one of those Hebrew Israelites? And then as soon as I told her, she was like, thanks, but no thanks. Which, those are, you know, you don't tell every woman your business, but she just straight up asked me. You know, but she was one of those women that talk too much, man. She just, one of those women, they got it all figured out. But really, Eve wants to be outside. You know? Eve wants to be outside. She doesn't want to be a part of any structure. She just wants to do her. No matter what face that she puts on in regards to her belief, her real belief is just what she wants to do, man. All right? And it's a beautiful thing seeing these job layoffs, man. It's a beautiful thing seeing Section 8 get cut. Because now you're outside and now you're stuck outside. You put yourself outside, now you cannot come back inside. Because now Eve is surprised that the Israelite man, the so-called black man, is indifferent to the fact that you're receiving. Yeah, that's right. She don't want to be saved, man. But Jake is indifferent to the fact that you're receiving job layoffs. Jake is indifferent to the fact that your Section 8 is getting cut off. You were outside and you wanted to be outside. Now your ass gets stuck outside, man. Yup. Hey, and it's heavy you saying that, brother. Because I was at work And I was thinking about that song from Project Pat, like that came out like year 2000, 2001. Don't save her, she don't wanna be saved. Don't save her, she don't wanna be saved. And then I think the intro, dude had a wife that was a hoe, and his friend was like, bro, you tripping, you can't turn a freak into a housewife. Man, that shit's true, man. Because where in the scriptures does it say, you know, a woman has her fun till she's ready to settle down? You know, that's why marriages don't work. Because women have had all these experiences before the so-called marriage. Now she can't pair bond with this man. That's not how the Heavenly Father intended it to be. Okay? Eve will have sex. She'll have your baby, but she doesn't want to be under any type of structure. You know? Alright, but like I said, I was just thinking about this yesterday. But Eve ain't nothing but a feminist, and really she's a Satanist, man. Because why do I say she's a Satanist? What's the core belief in Satanism? Do as thou wilt. So no matter what belief Eve has, is really one in which she does what she wants to do. Like I said, we've been around the Christians, the fake Christians, because, you know, I've seen real Christians growing up. And that's when you have a household where there's a man and a woman, and they might be apostolic or Christian, you know, Pentecostal, but their behavior is based off of doctrine. They might be going off, but it still gives them some type of structure. Whereas now Eve, she'll say, I don't believe in religion, I hate the word religion, but I do have a personal relationship with God and Jesus. But you don't subscribe to any page in the Bible. It just, God hasn't whispered some shit to you. Which really is individualism. You gotta do what you want to do, man. You know? Even Eve that subscribed to be Israelites, a lot of them are feminists. Alright? Because it's basically God is talking to me personally. Alright? So you're not following the doctrine, alright? You might have a husband, but really, you're not thinking about what your husband's saying. It's really a belief that God is dealing with me over this man. So really, you're just really a feminist, man, and ultimately a Satanist, man. Because all the times it's not the Most High talking to you. He says his voice is to the sons of men. So I gotta ask, who is God? Who is that talking to you? That voice that you hear, whose voice is that really? You know? That deals with you on an individual basis. What voice is that you really hear, man? You know? Because you hear a voice. But what voice is that you really hear, man? You know? Eve believed in spirit. No, you know who spirit is? It's a demon, man. I know you hear about Eve talking about spirit, and yeah, I gotta listen to spirit, and she personifies spirit as a female. I know who spirit is, man. It's Satan. It's a demon. And you opened up to him. Like Eve now, she's really opened up to a demon, man. And that demon will reveal things to her. But it's a demon. Alright? And once again, the fact that it's dealing with you on an individual level, you know it's not of the Most High. The fact that it caused a rift between you and the Israelite man, you know it's not of the Most High. Spirit is a damn demon, man. Alright? But like I said, the point of this lesson was to go into the many faces of feminism, man. Feminism is why a woman is in the military. It's gonna be a beautiful thing. The first people you should draft are studs, man. You know? I'd love to see a whole wave of studs get drafted for World War III. It'd be a beautiful thing, man. You know? Then the YNs, man. That'd be beautiful, man. Right? But, I mean, that's pretty much the point, man. You know? Scripture says, follow not thy own heart and our own mind, ultimately to fall out of our own ways, man. All right? Scriptures also says she that liveth in pleasures, there while she liveth. You know? But, I mean, that's pretty much, that's the point, man. Just going into the many faces of feminism. It's just another face of, no matter what the belief is, it's just another face of feminism, man. Alright? But the things is coming, as you can see, Iran is shooting missiles right back at Israel, man. Alright? And the scripture says, well, it's going to be wars and rumors of wars, man. So all we have to do is sit and watch, man. Sit, watch, wait, endure. Until the next time, you edify, Shalom.